This is our Stein's at Home Spring Hake box. And we start with some marinated salmon with passion fruit, chili and lime. And then the main course, which is grilled hake with spring onion mashed potato and a sauce of soy, butter, coriander and tomato. And finally, we have a classic lemon tart with clotted cream. So first of all, what I need to do is slice the salmon. So you've got a nice piece of salmon like this. You need a sharp knife. I purposely didn't use a sashimi knife because I just wanted to use any old knife that you might have. And I'm just going to slice this salmon into quite thin slices, but they don't need to be super thin, so don't feel it's too hard for you to do. I'm just going to cut those like that. If you want to do this a little bit before you have dinner, just slice them, put the salmon on the plate and put the plate in the fridge. And then when you come to serve, just add the dressing and the chopped coriander. Actually, I came up with a recipe in Sydney about 10, 12 years ago. I was asked, we were going to a party on New Year's Eve, and they said, do you fancy coming up with a fish dish as a starter? And I just thought, well, why don't I add some sort of Australian tastes with it? And the main taste I was thinking of then was passion fruit. But I've added lime juice as well, because what I do is use the passion fruit juice and the lime juice to slightly cure the salmon, so it's not actually raw. It's more like a bit like a ceviche. So I'm now just going to put the salmon on the plate like this, lay it across the bottom of the plate, and now on goes the dressing. Just want to try and cover as much of the salmon as I can with this dressing. And just use the back of the spoon just to get that around as much as possible. Now the coriander. I don't want the stalks here particularly, so just roughly chop all these and then just sprinkle it over the top. So there it is, marinated salmon with passion fruit, lime, chili and coriander. So this is one of my favourite hake dishes. First of all then, we grill the hake. So I've got two nice portions of hake, about 180 grams each. I'm just going to season them now with oil and salt and pepper, and then put them under a hot grill, full heat. We'll put that in there and I'm going to check it after about 5 minutes. And again, always when I do this, I put the fish quite close to the grill bars so that it will crisp up nicely. Next, the sauce, and here we have some chicken stock and soy sauce. We call it a reduction, but it says on the packet sauce. So just put the heat right up there and get that up quickly up to a boil. So now I'm just going to fold in the butter now. And as it starts to melt, just pull off the heat a little bit. Okay, so that'll be fine now because the rest of that butter will gradually melt in. So now I'm just going to add to the sauce some tomato concasse, which we've done for you. In other words, it's tomato that's been peeled, de-seeded, and then cut into a dice. There we go. Now then, finally, the only thing to add to the sauce and it's ready to go is coriander. So just put in now. Keep that warm somewhere, and that's ready to serve. The next thing to do, and the last thing, is my spring onion mash. We've got plenty of spring onions here, just slice them up a little bit. Fabulous. Okay, here's my mashed potato, just turn that right up. You can, I guess, microwave it and then mix in the spring onions, but the best way to do it is in a pan with a bit of milk. I'd say about 50 mils of milk. Just stir that in. Now what I actually love in mash is a little bit of pepper as well. And finally, the spring onions, and they need to go in while everything's quite hot, because that will take the sort of hotness out of the onions. Okay, those are ready to go. Now it's time to check out my hake. That's ready. What I love about grilling them under the grill in the oven like that is I like the look of the pepper on the top. There's a little bit of colour, so when you get it on the plate, it just looks really appetising. There we go, grilled hake with a tomato, coriander, soy butter sauce and spring onion mashed potato. It's a winner. And to finish, well, what could be nicer than a simple lemon tart? well, a little bit nicer would be a simple lemon tart with Cornish clotted cream. So there's the lemon tart, and then I'm just going to make a little lozenge of Cornish clotted cream to go with it. There we go. Don't want to overdo the clotted cream. It's very, very lovely, but very, very rich and delicious. So that was our Stein's at Home Spring Hake box. And we started with marinated salmon with passion fruit, lime, green chilli and coriander. Then we had a lovely main course of grilled hake with soy butter sauce with tomato and coriander, accompanied by spring onion mash. And finally, classic lemon tart with Cornish clotted cream.